Greetings, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about angels, guardian angels specifically, and their connection with developing inner calm, deep inner calm and stillness that we need to actually develop in order to be able to perceive in the spiritual world, to be able to also connect more fully with loved ones who have died. So that's what today's talk's going to be about. Before I dive in and get started, welcome to all those who are joining me here live in the Proof of Life After Death group, and also a warm welcome to those who are watching this later on in the replay. Just want to make you all feel welcome here, and maybe just a little bit of background. My name is Mick Young, and I'm a spiritual researcher. I'm also a spiritual mentor for some people, and I've been working with spirituality and with a path of meditation for over 20 years now. And my main work now is actually working with people who have lost someone, usually lost someone close to them, and who are really wanting to develop the relationship, the connection with the loved one who has died. So a lot of people go and see mediums, and there are some wonderful mediums around and some very good ones actually in this group. And some people go down that path, but what a lot of people tell me is that after they've been to see a medium, there's this sort of feeling of, well, that was wonderful, that's given me more comfort and faith that my loved one still exists and that they're still there and still around me and still with me, but I really want to know for myself. So I can see Jane's question in there. Nice to see you there, Jane. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I'm not someone who connects with your loved ones and then gives you the message. That's the job or task of a medium. I have my own spiritual experiences, but for me, what's most important is you and your connection with your loved one and developing that relationship yourself, because that's what's going to give you real security, real confidence, real knowledge, real faith that your loved one is still there, is still with you. And as I say, it's not a bad thing to go to a medium and get that outer confirmation. It's also not a bad thing to, look for signs in the outside world. Lots of people, especially in this group, talk about how they've received, amazing signs from their loved one. And that's all really great. And we can go even deeper than that. We can go much further than that, where we get to the point where deep in our bones, we just know that they are with us. And that brings with it a lot of peace, a lot of inner calm, a lot of gratitude, and that inner stillness. And that inner stillness that we can develop actually helps us to connect even more deeply with our loved ones. Now, just before I get into the main part of the talk as well, I always say at the start of these talks, so forgive me for repeating myself for those who've listened to my talks before, but I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here saying I've got all the answers and you don't. I'm not here to try and make you turn you around to my way of thinking. I'm just offering some thoughts and ideas that can ideally help you with your connection with your loved one, with your spiritual self, with the spiritual world in general, or the heavens in general, whichever words you like to use. But I'm not here to try and convince you of anything. So if the ideas sit well with you, if they resonate with you, then keep them and work with them and go for it with them. If they don't resonate with you, feel free to throw them away. I'm not here to sort of preach. So it's good to get that part clear before I get started. A few more people coming into the live now. So hi everyone. I can see Krish there, who's often there watching these live. So welcome to you, Krish. And Diana, great to have you there. And Natasha's there. So nice to see some people there who come in regularly. And another thing I like to say in the group is what helps more people to come along, to know that this live broadcast is actually happening now, and also for the people more people to see it in the replays if you put comments in, if you give it likes or thumbs up or hearts or whatever it is, whatever emoji your favorite emoji is, crying, laughing or something, I don't know, whatever your favorite emoji is. Just even saying hello in the comments, even commenting on other people's comments if you want to start a conversation is great as well. Really appreciate that, because it just it's like that old thing of, if lots of people go to a concert, lots more people go to that concert, you know what I mean? It's sort of that human thing of wherever people are gathering, more people start gathering. So thank you. I can see Natasha's hitting the old hearts button, so gotta love that. Thank you. The other thing I'd just like to say as well, I realise that a lot of people in this group have been through very, very difficult things. So when I speak, when I'm speaking about life after death, when I'm speaking about connecting with loved ones that have died, I'm not taking that lightly, that you may have been through possibly very traumatic experiences as well. So I just want you to know that I work with people in that situation a lot, and I do understand it very well. And, if I seem to be taking things lightly, it's only that I'm just being myself and talking the normal way I talk. But I just hope that no one thinks that I'm not taking it seriously, because I realize people have been through a lot. So thank you very much for joining me today, and looks like we've got quite a few watching live, so welcome to everyone. And today I'm going to be talking about angels, our guardian angels specifically, and their connection with developing inner calm and inner peace, and also that stillness that a lot of us are looking for inside, and how that actually connects with developing this relationship with loved ones who have died as well. So what I'm going to start off by talking about is the concept of an angel, and what an angel actually is, and how most of the time in spiritual circles, in spiritual groups, when people speak about angels or different spiritual beings like archangels even, what they're often doing is talking about them in very generic, abstract terms. So, saying things about angels, but actually the angel, they might actually be talking about a spirit guide, which might actually be someone who's passed away, who's connected with you in some way. Or they might be talking about an archangel, using the word archangel, but actually referring to their guardian angel. So what I want to bring is something that comes a lot out of the work of Rudolf Steiner, who is actually much more concrete and scientific about these things, and said that we can actually develop ourselves to the point where we can really begin to perceive these beings in their unique roles and their unique tasks, and not just in this generic, abstract way of vague spiritual entities, but actually concrete things. What is this being doing? What's their task? What's their characteristics? So just like here on earth, different people have different roles. Some people drive trucks, some people grow food, some people are teachers. So too in the spiritual world, different spiritual beings have different spiritual tasks. So today, focusing on the being of the angel, each of us has one angel, a guardian angel, one being from the realm of the angels who has actually dedicated their entire existence to watching over us, looking after us, protecting us, and also, more importantly, making sure that our karma and our destiny sort of takes place, that we come into contact with the right people that we need to come into contact with to make up for our karmic past or to sow seeds for our karmic future. And so the angel, this idea of the angel can actually lead us to begin to feel a lot of humility, a lot of gratitude, because a being who is actually in many ways above us, in many ways spiritually superior to us, has actually decided to selflessly give themselves over to caring for this one person. And I think we can begin to feel a lot of reverence and wonder and awe and gratitude for that a being that in many ways is like a human being, but in a higher sense, in a more developed sense, and without a physical body like we have, has actually sacrificed their existence to care and nurture this one person, one human being. In some ways you can see this reflected in the earthly world by the way a mother takes care of her baby, takes care of her child, this selfless giving up a lot of their own desires and drives and wishes to actually give over to this being who maybe needs feeding at 2 a.m. or, looking after constantly, especially in the early years. So that's one reflection of this angelic force, this angelic being which has given itself to each individual. Another way to get a sense of what who the angel is, what the angel is to compare the angel with another hierarchy of beings that we'll refer to as the archangels. One way to look at this is you've got in these sort of the different kingdoms of nature, for example, we've got the mineral kingdom, or the physical mineral kingdom. We've got a step up from that, you have the plant kingdom, where there is actually life forces, which the mineral kingdom doesn't actually have. Then you move to what you might call the animal kingdom, which also not only has the life force and the physical, but also has the soul aspect, this part of us that has drives, desires, wishes, likes, dislikes, etc. And then you can move to the human realm, the next highest kingdom, if you like. I know you can get pedantic about higher and lower, but the next kingdom could be called the human kingdom, where there's actually rational thought, where there's ability to connect directly with spirit. We have the gift of the word, which animals don't have. And we have this individuality that's very, very strong in each of us. It's almost like every human being is a species unto themselves. And then one step above the human comes the angel, the angelic realm. And then one step above the angelic realm comes the archangelic realm. And rather than looking after, protecting just one individual, the archangels actually look after entire groups of people. So whole cultures of people, the archangels are taken care of, as well as, this is just one aspect, but the archangels also guide the seasons. And then going one step higher than that, we have the archai, who are beings that look after the whole of humanity, in a sense, for certain periods of time. And these certain periods of time, certain cultural epochs that we live through, have their distinct flavour, have their distinct tasks that each period of time asks us to deal with. In a sense, you could say what's happening today with the advent of technology and just how prevalent technology is in all of our lives. That's something that is really arising in our age that we need to learn to deal with spiritually and in other ways. And so that's the archai beings. The archangels, again, are looking more after whole groups of people. And certain different cultures, different groups of people have different tasks, have different ways of being in the world, different things that they need to bring into humanity, and that's what the archangels are looking after. And the angel looking after the individual human being, guiding their destiny, of course leaving them free, because we do have free will, but making sure that the karmic necessity is taking place. So we're meeting the right people that we needed to meet to fulfill whatever it was we needed to fulfill. So that's just to give us a little sense of what an angel is and what its task is. And now I want to move into just talking about, why am I talking about this today? A lot of people who I've worked with say, for example, that they find it very difficult to meditate, that they find it very difficult due to the grief they've gone through or whatever it is they're going through to find that inner calm, to find that inner peace, to find that stillness that would allow them to be still enough to experience the connection with their loved one, for example. The emotions are too overwhelming. So that why I'm talking about this today is that there is a way of working with our angel to bring about this inner calm and this inner stillness that allows us not only to get a sense into our angel's being, but also to connect with loved ones that have died. So that's why I'm talking about this. And so now what I'll move into is actually talking about how do we do that? How do we begin to develop this inner calm that with the help of our angel, so that we can develop these connections. Now, just one quick note on meditation. A lot of people tell me they can't meditate. A lot of people try, and it depends what we mean when we say meditation. But in many ways, the meditation that a lot of us are doing is something that's developed in the Eastern countries more so, and we've kind of taken it in a way out of its historical and cultural and even religious context and sort of plonked it over here in the West and said, those monks over there look really happy, let's copy them and do what they do. But often we forget that the purpose of meditation is actually spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakening is not always a pleasant process. It's not always something that's going to bring fantastic, wonderful experiences. It can bring, initially at least, quite dark experiences. Because as the Buddhists say, it's like meditating is sort of stirring the sediment at the bottom of the glass or whatever it is, and you're stirring it up and bringing it all up to the surface. So our ancient karmic stuff can just sort of flow up, and that can be painful and difficult. So rather than taking on that kind of meditation, I suggest different kinds, and I go through that in detail in my programs. But for today, I just wanted to give you something you can do instead of meditation, or actually alongside meditation if you are someone who meditates. And that is to try this particular exercise. So just before I do that, just checking in with people who are watching live right now, or if you're watching the replay, what do you think of what I've said so far? Do you believe in angels? Have you had an experience, or someone who's had an experience? Then yeah, let us know in the comments, because I also go back after I've done this live and have a look at the comments and see if I can answer any questions. So please let us know in the comments. So this exercise I'm talking about, which can be done alongside meditation, and can be done actually instead of meditation if that's something you struggle with, is to actually look back over your day. So at the end of the day, just before bedtime ideally, you look back over your day in your mind's eye. You can almost imagine like you've climbed a nearby hill, and from that vantage point of the hill, you're looking back over your whole day that just took place, and you're seeing all the different scenes that you lived through in that one day that you just experienced. And you want to do it in such a way that you're actually seeing yourself in the scene. You're seeing yourself within each event, like you're a third person looking from the outside. Actually, like you're in the position of an angel, or your angel, who's looking on at the scene. And the way to do it is, what we want to do is we want to have a little bit of sort of separation. So we don't want to judge, no judging ourselves, no thinking, oh, I should have done it this way, I should have said this, I should have done that if I'm looking at a particular scene. But actually just paying attention at what happened and trying to look at it objectively as possible. Now, It's really quite difficult to do this, and what tends to happen is you get pulled into the emotion of that scene that you're looking at from the day, or you start to think, I should have done this, I should have said this, I wish I'd have done that. But again and again, what we want to do is just, pull ourselves gently out of that back into this non-judgmental third person angel view of things. And just out of personal experience, I can tell you that having done this and attempted this on and off for sort of 20 years, mostly off, to be honest, because it's not easy, is that over time, you start to get this sense, as a difficult situation is coming to you during your day, that you have more of a choice. So rather than emotion sort of coming in and taking you over, like whether it's anger or upset, it's almost like you start to see it coming before it gets there. And it's not that you don't feel the upset or the anger or whatever it is. It's just that you see it coming and you realize you have a choice. And you can make a different choice as to how you react. Or maybe you can see it coming and you decide, I'm just going to step outside for 5 minutes and cool off before I come back into this situation. So let me know in the comments again, if that kind of thing makes sense to you. And what I also want to suggest is that it's actually really challenging to do this backwards review of the whole day. And you actually want to go backwards, need to go backwards as well, because actually that's a bit hard to explain, but we want to be seeing these events taking place in a backwards order. So, if you walked up the stairs, you want to picture yourself going up the stairs backwards, as it were, or backwards down the stairs. So you want to see everything happening in reverse. And that, I won't go too much into that right now, but that's actually to do with the astral world that we enter both when we go to sleep and after death, and how we perceive in the astral world. Things actually take place. Time actually flows backwards, in a sense, in the astral world. So we're actually practicing that. So what I suggest to people is, because it's quite difficult, just choose for a beginning one scene to look at. Just choose one event from the day that you can go back over, looking at it backwards from a third person perspective, watching yourself in the scene, what you said, what you did, etc., without judging, but just one scene rather than the whole day. By all means, if you can do the whole day, go for it. But I just suggest to people, start off by just doing one scene, because it just makes it easy to get started. So that's the exercise itself. Now, to give it just a little bit of context and how it connects with these other things we're talking about, like angels and connecting with loved ones. It's actually connecting us with our angel, and that's because every single night when we go to sleep, we actually meet with our angel. Our angel's with us all the time anyway, but we actually have a conscious meeting with our angel in our sleep. And what we do with our angel, in a sense, is look back over our day. You might say we actually go further than that and look back over our whole life. And you may go further than that and say we actually look back over all of our previous lives, if you're willing to go with me on that. But at the very least, we look back over our day together with our angel. And in a sense, we're looking at it from their perspective. We're seeing what we did, what we said, how that went down with other people, the effect it had on everyone around us, the effect their words had on us, but from this spiritual, angelic perspective. And what that does is that sets us up for the next day when certain events are going to happen, and allows our angel to actually work more closely with us, more consciously with us. So rather, the angel is fully conscious. It's about us becoming more conscious of our angel working with us in our interactions with others, in our thought life, and in our life of feeling and will. So that's why we're doing it. And in a way, you could also say that it's a practice for when we get to experience our whole life review when we actually pass away, when we die. Because we're all going to go through that, where we have this objective view of our lives once we've passed through the gate of death, which we'll all do at some point. And our angel will still be there with us, showing us everything that happened, everything we caused, everything we went through. And in a sense, this is a practice. We're practicing for that moment, in a way. And what we're doing is we're making things more and more and more conscious, so that the following day and the day after that and the next day, on and on and on, we can be acting more and more consciously. Yes, Krish says there, the life review, exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So apologies if you have actually asked me questions while I've been speaking. I can't actually see them in this light for whatever reason. I'm doing this on my phone and I can't actually see all the questions. Sometimes I see one or two, but they sort of flick past too far. So apologies about that, but I will have a look at the comments afterwards. So that's the exercise I'm talking about. That's how it connects with our angel. And the other thing is what this does, it starts to develop in us real calm, inner peace and stillness. We become more and more able to do that, which can lead us to be able to meditate if you're someone that can't. So this can be a great stepping stone to meditation, or it can be a great addition to your meditation. And what is enabled to happen then is that we can begin to sense more into the relationship with a loved one who has died, because we're not so much, blown here and there and everywhere by our emotions. We start to get this inner security, if you like. And I think this exercise is one of the most powerful ones that I've ever come across personally. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. So, I've talked a lot. I hope you got something out of this talk. And if you're someone who wants to develop this even further, your understanding of the angelic realm, your understanding of what happens when we pass away, your understanding of where your loved one who's died is and how you can actually work with them, how you can actually support them on their continued journey, which actually allows them to support you and inspire you for your life here on earth for the rest of the time that you're here, then do get in touch with me. So what I do is I actually offer a free session. And in that free session, what we do is we look at where you're at the moment with your spiritual connection, where you ideally want to be, and then we'll actually put our heads together and come up with a plan to get you there. Now, the session is completely free, and just so you know, some people do actually go on to work with me, but some people don't as well, and if you don't, that's absolutely fine as well. Many people have said that even just this free 45-minute session has given them a lot of clarity, and it's been a really special time to spend on their spiritual life. So I encourage you to do that, and all you need to do to register for that free session is just type yes into the comments, and then I'll put the link in. I'll reply to you with the link, but also if you want the link, it's just www.spiritualscientist.org/call. So that's spiritualscientist.org/call. Maybe if someone wants to write that into the comments for me, that would be great. Otherwise, please just type yes into the comments and I'll come along and type the reply so that you get the link. So what happens is you go to that, you click on that link, it'll send you to a page where you enter your email address. Then that will send you to a page where you book in a time and you just choose the time that suits you. And then you'll get email reminders about the session, and then when that time and day comes about that you've chosen, I will call you, or we will meet on a Zoom call. You just let me know which one you prefer, and then we'll do the session. And so the other thing about it is that, a lot of us are on a spiritual path, or on a spiritual journey, and we've tried lots of different spiritual practices. And I think one of the most important things is consistency. And that seems to be the big thing that people struggle with the most, is really being consistent with their spiritual practice. And so to have someone there who's able to guide you, who's able to check in with you, who's able to support you through developing your spiritual practice and connection with loved one who's died and who's got a lot of experience, then it's really, really worthwhile to do that. So as I say, just type yes into the comments and I'll send you the link. And otherwise, if you're not ready for a free one-on-one session, which I realise that some people aren't, they're just not in that place, maybe they're still needing to go through just counselling or things like that, then I totally understand that. But if that's the case, please feel welcome to join my own Facebook group, which is called the Staying Connected group. And that's where I go live quite often, and there's posts and support and different kinds of things going on in that group. A lot of very, very supportive people as well, just like in this group, in the Proof of Life After Death. So if you're wanting to join the Facebook group, you can either just go to the Facebook search and type in Staying Connected, or just type Facebook into the comments, and then I'll add the link to the Facebook group under there and invite you to join, or send you the link so that you can join. Okay, I think that's probably enough talking for today. Yeah, thank you very, very much for listening. Just once again, my name's Mick Young, and I really look forward to either being on a live in here with you again soon, or seeing you over in my Facebook group, the Staying Connected group, or joining with you on a free session if that's what you choose to do. But once again, it also helps a lot if you just put a lot of comments in here, chat to each other in the comments too if you like. Hearts are always good, thumbs up, whatever. I think even probably angry faces probably do the same thing, but just to let other people know that this is happening. And also, if you think that this might help someone else, then please feel free to send them my way as well. So I just want to wish you all the best. Enjoy the rest of your day. Many blessings to you, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.